friends, welcome back. So if you know me, you know that I absolutely love audiobooks. I love trying out new audiobook services, audiobook apps. This is going to be a side-by-side comparison of Libro FM versus the big behemoth in the audiobook industry, which is Audible, which is owned by Amazon. So if you want to hear that side-by-side comparison and what my recommendation would be of which one to choose, then just keep watching. Now, first I just want to say I do have referral/discount affiliate links with both of these services, Libro FM and Audible. I will put all the details down in the description box for those discount codes. I am super grateful if you do use those. It's kind of a win-win because you will get a discount if you sign up for either of these services, and I also get some credit for those services as well. Definitely check out those details down in the description box. Okay, so now let's start at the beginning of what these two services are and what are the main similarities between these two services. Basically, Audible and Libro FM are both audiobook stores. Essentially, both of these services are centered around a subscription service where basically every month you pay a certain fee and you get at least one audiobook every single month as part of your membership. They both have a very wide selection of audiobooks. Both of these services allow you to purchase the audiobooks outright, own the audiobooks, and you have them forever. You can continue listening to those audiobooks as many times as you want. You basically own them, just like you would if you went to a store and purchased a physical copy. Now, of course, we've got to talk about the main differences. So I think the biggest difference between Audible and Libro FM is kind of the basic business model of these two services. So with Audible, you are supporting Amazon. Audible was purchased by Amazon, they are owned by Amazon, and everything is integrated with Amazon. And obviously Amazon is a giant megacorp, and so yeah, that is who you're supporting when you support Audible. Libro FM, on the other hand, is kind of like the independent bookseller's answer to Audible. Essentially how it works is whenever you make a purchase with Libro FM, you do support local booksellers, and you can choose the specific bookseller that you want to support with Libro FM. So for example, if you want to choose your local bookstore in your hometown, you can choose that, and basically every time you purchase a book, they either will get 10 or 15% of the sale of that book, and they get 10% if it's part of a subscription and 15% if it's just like a one-time purchase. So let's talk about some of the specifics of what you can actually expect as a customer of these two services. The first thing is the price. Now the price is very comparable. The base level service for both these services is about $15. Now with Audible, it is $14.95 a month for one credit, and with Libro FM, it is $14.99. So like 4 cents more with Libro FM. The only thing I want to point out with Audible is they do have several different subscription offerings, which does make it a little bit cheaper. So for example, they have a 2 credit a month plan, which is $22.95. And they also allow you to save a little bit of money if you do purchase a year's worth of credits up front. You do save a little bit on a per book basis. So yeah, Audible is slightly cheaper, but not a whole lot different. So now let's talk about the selection. So overall, I would say they both have a very good selection. They both have access to a lot of the new releases, the best-selling books. I think if you're someone who has pretty mainstream taste in books, you're going to be pretty happy with either of these services. Technically, Audible has over 200,000 books, and Libro FM only has 150,000. I don't think for most people it's going to be a big deal. However, for some like more niche books, they may only be available on Audible. Another thing that I think is a really key distinction between these two services is their approach to exclusive content. One of the big selling points for Amazon and Audible is their gigantic library of exclusive content. With an Audible membership, every single month you do get access to their exclusive content as part of your membership, and this is content that is available nowhere else except Audible. And they have free exclusive content, and they also have exclusive content that is just like a regular book. So a lot of authors will publish their book with an exclusive contract with Amazon, so it is only available with Audible. So they have a lot of exclusive content. Libro FM has actually taken kind of a moral stance against exclusive content like this. They basically say that it is kind of like Amazon's way to bully the authors or the publishers to provide this exclusive content, when in reality it probably would be better for the industry, better for booksellers and authors and readers if those authors were not tied into those exclusive contracts. So Libro FM does not have any exclusive content, and as a customer of the service, that is definitely a bit of a bummer, because Audible, they do have a lot of great exclusive content, and you do kind of get more bang for your buck when you have an Audible membership, because you do have access to that content that in a lot of times is free included with your membership. However, I think if you are someone who agrees that exclusive content is bad for the industry, is bad for authors, bad for publishers, then you may really like that Libro FM does not support exclusive contracts and does not advertise exclusive content. So yeah, I think that's kind of up to you, but that's the main trade-off with the exclusive content and the selection. Now let's talk about the purchasing options. So one benefit of Audible is you can actually purchase directly through the app. Unfortunately, with Libro FM, you can only purchase on the website and then download the app. Not a huge deal, but if you're someone who likes to purchase audiobooks on the go and you don't necessarily want to have to access the desktop version of the site, then just think about that. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the other store features and some of the other features that are similar and different about both of these services. So the first is the return policy. Luckily, both of these services allow you to very easily return audiobooks if you don't like them, which is much appreciated. Another thing that I like about both of these services is they both are services where you actually buy the audiobook and you have access to them forever. Some services like Scribd, it's more of like a streaming model where you don't actually own the audiobooks. Both these services, you do own the audiobooks forever, and yeah, that's the benefit and kind of similarity of both of them. Some ways that actually Libro FM is better in terms of their offerings and kind of the features that they provide is they allow you to keep the audiobook credits even if you cancel the membership. So basically how Audible works is you can keep the books that you've already purchased if you cancel your audiobook membership, but you cannot keep credits that have not been used. So if you cancel your account and you had like 5 unused credits, you basically just lose that. However, with Libro FM, you do get to keep that even if you pause or cancel your subscription, which I think is pretty cool, especially if you're someone who does not listen to audiobooks every single month. Another benefit of Libro FM that Audible does not have is they are what they call cage-free audiobooks, or DRM free, and DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. And basically this means is that you, with Libro FM, can actually download the audiobooks and download them and play them on separate apps. So if you wanted to play them, I don't really know what other apps you would download it on, but you could play it like on iTunes, for example, or like download it and play it on like any audiobook service that you wanted that was able to play it. You're not restricted to just listening to it on the Libro FM app. Personally, I don't think that's something that I would ever use, but if you see a need for that, then that is something that's pretty cool and not available with Audible. Now, that being said, let's compare the actual listening experience on the apps that both of these services provide. I would say the actual listening experience is pretty similar. Both of them, the audio quality is quite good in my opinion. Both of them have the option to like speed ahead, go back. They have the ability to jump like 15 or 30 seconds ahead or backwards. Both these services have sleep timers, they have bookmarking capabilities. So most of these features are pretty standard with most audiobook services, and they exist with both of them, so that's good. Both of these services also allow you to speed up the audiobook up to 3.5 speed, which I am really impressed about. I hate when audiobook companies like stop at 2 speed. I think it's super annoying. So I really like that they go all the way up to 3.5 with both of these services. However, one benefit of Audible is they do have more incremental speeds. So basically you can go every 1/10 of a point. You can change the audiobook speed, which I think is better. If you're someone who loves to change the speed and you want that specific detail, then Audible may be the way to go. So all of that being said, let's get my final thoughts on these two services. I would say the overall experience is pretty similar. Like there are a few like nitpicky details that I kind of talked about, but overall, if you're just an average audiobook listener, the experience is going to be pretty much exactly the same with both of these services. I think the biggest trade-off that you're going to want to think about if you're choosing between Audible and Libro FM is you need to choose if it is more important to you to support local booksellers and have 10 to 15% of your book sale go to a local bookseller, or it's more important to you to have access to that exclusive content. Audible, there's no getting around it. The biggest selling point is that exclusive content, is the gigantic selection of books they have, both exclusive and non-exclusive. They basically have, if there's an audiobook out there, chances are it's on Audible. And, you know, it's really hard to pass that up if you're someone who is a fan of that exclusive content. However, if you're someone who doesn't care about that, or you don't actually support exclusive content, then I think Libro FM is the way to go in that situation. For me, I will probably continue to use both of these services. I love Audible. I've been using Audible for years. However, I do absolutely realize that there are some problems with it, and I think Libro FM is a great addition to this marketplace, and I will absolutely continue to support local bookstores as well using Libro FM. So yeah, that's it. Again, I do have referral links which will give you a discount for both of these services, so check those out down in the description box. And yeah, until next time, guys, bye.